Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Sunday and this is Connie. And I am here to show you I got some sales this weekend and they were pretty good. So I'm pretty excited because my store has been pretty dead for a while, but I think that is between kids going back to school, everybody finishing up their vacations, and I wasn't listing a whole lot, so I've really been on a listing spree this week, and it's actually paying off, and I'm absolutely loving it. So, let me see. The first thing I have that I sold is this porcelain purse. It's 24 karat gold trimmed, and I've had this for a while. It's an ornament or whatever you want to use it for. This sold for $11 plus shipping, and it is new in package. The packaging is a little rough, but the item itself is new. And I am just going to put some tissue paper around it and put it in this box, and away it will go. The next thing I sold was this Leoma Lovegrove Colorful Fish Graphic size small hoodie, size medium hoodie, long sleeve, and it is so cute. It has fish all over it. I will actually put a picture up here for you guys to see what it actually looks like. I picked this up at a garage sale just about a month ago, maybe. I'm not even sure if it's been that long, for just a couple bucks, and I sold this for $27 plus shipping. So that was a good sale, and it went pretty quickly. And that will just be sent in a poly mailer. Then another good one I sold, I was really thrilled when this one came through, is a Sony Handycam CCD TRV 68 Vision Video High 8 camcorder, and it works. I tested this thing myself and it works. So let me show you. It comes with this case. This is really nice. We found this at a yard sale, at a garage sale a couple weeks ago, and the lady said that it belonged to her daughter. She was an older lady, and she said it belonged to her daughter and she just didn't use it anymore. But this is beautiful condition. The front cover pops off. It does work. I did test it. The only issue, and I did put this in the listing, is that this piece, which is normal, is starting to wear away, and that's normal. So when they open this case up, there will be probably pieces of this in there, and I did put that in the listing, that this is shedding. But this is the only thing that is wrong with it, and to me, that's not even a huge thing. It has the book. It even has a blank cassette tape. And the lady sent me an offer. I had it for $135, and she messaged me and she asked me if I'd be willing to take $125 for it plus shipping. And I said, just send me an offer and we'll discuss it. So as soon as she sent the offer, I took it, and she paid the $125 plus the shipping. Brought her order total up to $153.31. So this will be going into this box. It's a big box, and I'm reusing it. It is from eBay, so I have to cut it down to fit. And I won't be doing that on video because I really am horrible at that. So I just don't have the box resizer to make it easy, and I just have this, and it's a struggle. So by the time I'm done resizing this box, I'm gonna be sweating. So I am not the one to show you that, but once I am done doing that, I will come back and show you it packed. All right, you guys, that actually wasn't so bad. So what I did, let me show you. I just wrapped it in the bubble wrap. It's not gonna get damaged because of the case anyways, but I just like to be extra certain. I wrapped it in bubble wrap, and then I used paper as a filler. I have like a 4 roll of this that I think I got from Amazon or Walmart or somewhere that I just used. And then I just cut it down the sides, each side, and then I was able to bend it, just cut it very lightly with the thing here, right along here. Like I said, I'm not the one to be showing you this, but it worked out for me this time. I just cut it right along here so it would bend on all 4 sides, and it fits perfectly. So there's that. So that's how I did my box, and I didn't struggle with it this time the way I usually do, which is awesome, because nothing worse than struggling with a box and getting all sweaty. So, all right, there's that. And like I said, it weighed, or I sold it for $125, and order total was $153.31. Okay, you guys, I sold a book, and I'm going to show you how I packaged my books. Now, I'll probably get some backlash in the comments. You're using too much for a book, but I will explain to you as I go along why I packaged my books this way. This is an art and action book. I had bought a bunch of these from our local thrift store for 10 cents a piece. It was like fill a bag for $5, and it was like a half off day. So it could be like 5 cents a piece, I don't know. And I only have 3 left. I started out with 7. So they are slowly going out the door, and this one sold for $9.99. So I've been very happy with them. There are a teacher's edition. So with kids going back to school, teachers have to buy their own stuff. This has never been used, and I think I only have 1 or 2 left now. All right, so the way I'm going to package this one. Now, if you have a problem with the way I package it, just do you. I do me, you do you. Okay? So let me move you down so you guys can see how I do this. Okay? I don't have the best setup for this, so just give me some grace here. Okay. Once I get my shed, the setup will be much better. Okay, so first of all, I have a record mailer. That is what this is. It's to mail off records. Okay, so as you can see, the book fits in there, but it has some space. First of all, this is a brand new book, and second of all, a teacher is going to be using it, and third of all, I don't want it to arrive damaged. It doesn't matter if a 5-year-old is going to use it. I still don't want it to arrive damaged. So what I do is I will shrink wrap this first, like this. There's a couple of different ways that I do my books when I ship them. Sometimes I will just use spare box parts, and I will make it stiffer that way, and then I will shrink wrap it, and then I will put it in a poly mailer, and that seems to go well too. But I like to do this as well using the record mailer, and I didn't feel like finding a bunch of box parts because I'm sure I have some around here somewhere, and this was available at the moment. So I wrap it all in shrink wrap first, like that. Now I did miss the bottom, so I will get the bottom and the top. I want to make sure that this does not get damaged whatsoever before it gets to him. And I have never had any complaints. As a matter of fact, I've had people say that the way I ship could go through a war. So with the way this world is, and the way storms are, you never know what our packages are going to come across while trying to get to their customer. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. All right, so as you can see, it is now all wrapped in the shrink wrap, okay? So the next thing I do, I know a lot of you are saying that should be enough. No, not for me. Another thing I do is I put it in bubble wrap. And the reason I put it in bubble wrap is because that is going to make this box just a little bit thicker when I go to put it in here. That way it's not going to move around too much. Okay? So, yes, I may go overboard sometimes, but that's just how I do it. So we'll put that on there. Then I have thank you stickers that I give out. I'll either put them on the outside of the box or on the package. And then I'm just going to bend the sides over like so. Now it is going to move around a little bit, but that's okay. It's not going to get damaged. That is the main thing. Actually, we'll fix it to where it's not going to move around. And that's going to give it plenty of stability to where that is not going to move as it goes along to its new destination. So that is how I package my books most of the time. Otherwise, it's 2 pieces of cardboard, that just spare pieces of cardboard, like bigger pieces than this that I cut off for that last box that I did, but bigger pieces, and just shrink wrap around that, just so the books don't get bent. That's the main thing. We don't want them damaged on the way to their customer, because we will not have a happy customer if that happens. And then I like to make sure that it's taped around all sides, because as you can see, there is a little bit of a hole there, and it would be easy for water to get through there. So we are trying to prevent that as best as we possibly can. So I'm just extra careful. I have made many mistakes as when I first started, and sometimes I still do. But if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're doing something wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. Everybody does, but you need to make sure that you learn from them and fix them for next time. So see that the tape covered those holes. And there we go. It is not going to move, and it would get damaged during shipping. Alright, so I hope that you learned something with the way I ship my books, and I'm glad that came through, so I was able to show that to you. Alright, next up is this ugly monkey. Now I found him, I think it was a yard sale or something, or church sale, I can't remember exactly where I found him. I haven't had him for a long time. I did find him this summer somewhere at some time, and I do remember only paying like 50 cents for him, and he sold for $22.50 plus shipping. So with shipping, they're all in for $30.77. Now, since he will not break, he's an easy ship, and what I'll do with him is he will go in a poly mailer, but I will protect him first. So I am going to bubble wrap him. Let me bend you down again so you can see me do this. So I'm just going to bubble wrap him, just to give him some extra protection since he does have a rubber face. We don't want his face to get damaged. And just put some tape here to hold it. And then I will put him in a plastic bag just for some extra protection. Like I said, sometimes I do go overboard, but I want to make sure that it's going to get there. And you won't find a lot of YouTubers that do packaging for you because everybody does it different. And I'm sure I'll get comments that say, well, you did that wrong, you used too much packaging. And it just, sometimes it's just easier just to do it on your own and not show it, but I don't care. So that's what he looks like. He's all packaged up and he will just go in this poly mailer. And I will put him facing the back of the poly mailer like this. Try to get the air out so it doesn't add too much extra weight to it. And the reason I do it that way is because it gives me a flat surface to put the label. Otherwise his face and everything would make my label all goofy. But it's as simple as that. And then this doesn't add that much weight to it. So it's only going to weigh 4.3 ounces. Bring it back up. Only weighs 4.3 ounces, so you're going to go up to a 5-ounce label. And that is plenty. And the price for USPS Ground Advantage for this person is $4.15. That's my label price. So even with the extra packaging, it doesn't weigh anymore. So better safe than sorry. Okay, we're gonna take a break from shipping for a minute, and I want to teach you something that I learned this week. Now, when I go to Source, I am not really into buying sports stuff or anything like that because I know nothing about sports. And I really don't care to learn because that is not something that interests me. But my husband and I went to the thrift store quite some time ago. This has been sitting in my death pile probably for at least 3 or 4 months because I didn't know what to do with it. We went to Goodwill one day and just to look around, and my husband found this jersey, okay? At first glance, you know, it's a jersey, right? It's clean, there's nothing wrong with it. What caught his eye was it had a signature on it, if I can find it. It has a signature, okay? So the other day I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking on eBay and I'm looking for this thing and I'm finding it in purple, but I'm not finding it in white. And the signature just looked totally different for Peterson than what this signature looks like. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So I went into a Facebook page called the Reseller Water Cooler, and it is ran by Lonnie from Shed Flips. I belong to several Facebook groups that does help. And so if you guys are new, make sure you go on Facebook and join some groups. The wonderful thing about this community is people help people all the time. And I have joined some in the past where you can get really rude ones, and I don't belong to those groups anymore. And there's only a handful of groups that I belong to now. So I just, Reseller Water Cooler popped up first on Facebook. So I went ahead and took a picture of this jersey and I asked people if they thought that this was authentic. And they were kind of stumped as well. And I figured if anybody knew, somebody in there probably that does sports cards, handles sports, sells sports all the time would know about this jersey. Well, everybody was stumped in there too. And so as my curiosity kept going, I spent way too long trying to research this. And that is one thing about when you're learning something new, it takes a long time to research, and it takes a long time to out of your time that you could be listing. But this really had me stumped. Well, as you can see, there is a holographic sticker on there. And that holographic sticker says absoluteauthentics.com. And I'm like, so I told them, I says, well, it has this sticker on there. And they were still a little confused. Nobody really knew the answer to it. They're like, well, you can have it authenticated, but you know, you have to make sure that it's going to be worth paying for and all that stuff. So I went to absoluteauthentics.com and it popped up, and I'm looking and I'm like, well, you know, they don't have any jerseys for sale now, but apparently they're a real company. So another guy in the Facebook group, he says he had gotten a football with a signature on it a long time ago from absoluteauthentics.com, and it was fake. So I kept researching. I was really confused, okay? So I kept researching it, and first of all, this is the tag. It's just like a very generic tag. So that right there kind of had me a little iffy, but I'm like, it's signed, you know, maybe they just had a jersey in their closet and they decided to have this guy sign it, whatever. Okay, I don't know. I still don't really know the answer to how about this jersey, but I'm pretty sure. So I went to absoluteauthentics.com and I'm looking on there. I'm like, well, they sell on Whatnot. They must be true legit. So I closed it out, was waiting for some answers, started working on something else. Nobody else was answering, and so I went back to it, and I was actually on the website absoluteauthentics.net. Now I'm going to turn you around and show you what pops up when absoluteauthentics.com is put in. Hold on. Okay, I know this is not the best setup, but this is the best I can do right now. There is no absoluteauthentics.com anymore. It's actually for sale. So when I put in absoluteauthentics.net, where it actually was, that pops up, and this is a real website. Now, there is a difference between the two. So this got me to doing more research. Let me turn you back around. So, like I said, this got me to doing more research. So I looked on the computer, was still doing research because this really had me stumped, and I really wanted to know the answer to it. I didn't want to throw it away with it being worth something. So come to find out, I found a website where they talk about different websites and everything like that, you know. And somebody had mentioned that absoluteauthentics.com was selling fakes. And that is why they got shut down. Now, absoluteauthentics.net is a real site. So apparently all the stuff that you get on there is going to be legit. But absoluteauthentics.com is not legit. So, long story short, if you're out thrifting and you see this label, it is a holographic label. Remember this, put this in your brain. If you see this label and it says absoluteauthentics.com, pass on it. It is not real. I don't care if it has 25 signatures on it. This is a fake signature. How they do this, I have no idea. But it irritates the heck out of me because I have been duped I don't know how many times on items that I've picked up at the thrift store and they end up being fake. When I first started, I started on Poshmark, and I wasn't even on Poshmark for a week, and I had come across some Louis Vuittons, at the thrift store. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way these are real. And they were absolutely beautiful. But I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to get lucky this time. They ended up being fake. I gave them to my daughter to use and make her feel like she's rich or something. But just be very careful out there. That is one reason why I don't sell high-end and high-brand stuff. I come from a little country town, and we don't have high-end brand stuff around here, and that is not the way we roll. We roll in blue jeans, t-shirts, tank tops, shorts, barefoot half the time, Western wear. That is how we roll around here. And especially in a little farm town in Indiana. So, you know, I should have known that they were fake, but I had hoped that the thrifting gods were on my side that day, but they weren't. And that's okay, because at least I found out they weren't real before I listed them. But as far as this goes, AbsoluteAuthentics.com is fake. Do not waste your money. Alright, so let's go back to pulling our orders. Okay, the last two orders I have for today is this pair of Hillary Radley size large, and they're just a pair of black shorts, and these will go into a plastic bag and then into a poly mailer. And these sold for $12 plus shipping, so the buyer is all in for $19.62. And then the last thing I sold was a Romeo and Juliet Couture medium tank, and this sold for $12.55. I've had this for quite some time. I had it on Poshmark for a while, moved it over to eBay, sat for a while, and it finally sold. It's really, really cute. Very thin, and it has the fringe on the bottom. So they will need to wear something under this because it's quite thin. And this sold, I don't know if I said, but for $12.55. So that is all the orders I have for now. It's still early, so may possibly have more come in. I just got done listing about 8 items today, and then I relisted some items, so that always seems to help. So if you guys aren't relisting the old items that are expiring, make sure that you do that, because that makes them look like they're new. And I really do believe that it helps your store too. So, alright guys, that's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. And until my next video, take care and many sales. Bye.